Where are you going?
Fishing.
Fishing? What's fishing?
Fishing? It's an art, worthy the knowledge and practice of a wise man.
Look,
Isaac
we
what?
haven't got time for you to practice anything. We've got to find the fourth segment.
You find it. I'm taking the day off.
The day off?
Yes. After a journey of 400 years and 12 parsecs, I'm allowed a rest of 50 years.
Where does it say that?
Section 93, paragraph 2, laws governing time laws. You look it up. Go on.
You just made that up.
Hello everybody, I'm Colin Baker, the Sixth Doctor, and you are so lucky, because you are watching the Omega Files, and I'm in it at the moment, but the next bit isn't me, it's something even better.
Wow, this is going to be a short cast. It's, you know, something, what weirds me out is the guys who suggested I do Key to Time. One's been in one of them and the other one ain't been in any of them.
Who was the one that was in none of them?
It's like, was Key to Time that bad that we're diminishing week by week? It's like, sheesh. It's like by the time we get to Armageddon Factor, I think it's just going to be me and Will.
And me.
And Neil.
Yeah,
You know what?
Like,
The person makes the suggestion.
yep.
Tell him to kiss your ass because he won't show up for podcast anyway.
Okay. I'm glad I hit the record button for that. All right. Welcome to the Omega Files. I'm your host, Dr. Freedom. And yeah, apparently half the cast has disappeared on us this week. But let's go around really quickly and talk to, get a hi there from everybody who is here. Let's start with Neo.
Hello.
William.
Greetings and salutations.
And Texas Tim.
Hello there.
Yeah, Android Zatara, fourth chapter in the Key to Time series. Like I said, it's getting really, really, unpopulated in here as we get further into the Key to Time series. But, oh, man. Let's see. Now, Key to Time series, Android Zatara. The one thing that sticks out to me that I will never forget, that ever memorable scene that for some reason just bugs me to this day. And I don't know. Maybe everyone else got the same reaction I did. But how many people remember this little guy?
Oh.
The Taran Wood Beast. Oh, yeah. That scares the crap out of me. Oh.
Luckily, he was only there for like 2 minutes. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody came up with the bright idea of taking a bear costume and removing the facial part and then sticking this thing on. They would have been better off with the bear. Oh, man. But luckily, the director had enough foresight that he made sure this thing was on screen as little as possible. Okay, but let's go around and get opening thoughts. Let's start with Neo. Android.
Oops, sorry.
Go.
I loved it. It was awesome. I liked it because I had to go and count how many times there was a Romana in it because she was, I think it was 4 times. Android, it was regular Romana. No, maybe it was 3 times. I don't know. 3 or 4 times. I'm still getting lost on that. I don't know.
No, you got it right. It was 4.
It was 4.
Yeah, because she played not only Romana, she played Strella, then she played the android of Romana and the android of Strella.
Oh, yeah.
So she should have got combat pay for this one. So, geez. Or she should have 4 times. It's big.
Oh, wait, that means Romana met her doppelganger then.
Well, it ain't the first time it's happened. We see later on, in King's Demons, we have Nissa meeting her doppelganger. But then the Doctors had doppelganger, so it's not an unusual thing in Doctor Who. I guess it's, maybe it's a law of time that sooner or later, if you travel around enough, you're going to meet somebody who looks like you.
Yeah.
Oh, go on. I'm sorry.
It was still awesome. I just loved it, especially that what was it? That no, it was that guard guy that had. I felt like he had something stuck up his butt, but it was cool. He was cool. I don't know his name, but he just wanted to hurt the doctor so bad. I'm gonna hurt you. I was like, oh God, what is up your rear end, boy?
Neil, you forgot to mention about Romana's outfit.
Oh, yes, right. I do love her outfit. One day I'm going to figure out how to do that weird, nicely colored outfit. Her hat's pretty decent, too.
Well, there was a quick note they had in the trivia thing was the fact originally they were going to have Romana wearing this long flowing gown, but then somebody goes, wait a minute, she's got to ride a horse.
Mm-hmm.
That ain't going to work. So they sat down, and then it was Mary Tam who picked out the turquoise and green colors for the outfit. Two favorites.
Oh,
I heard she didn't write in the scenes that you see her writing. It wasn't her because she wanted to wear a helmet.
You're right. It was mostly what's her name? Stunt woman. Heck, I'm trying to think of her name. I just saw it earlier today. Something Gibbs. Martha, or was it? Yeah, I think it was Martha Gibbs or Mary Gibbs or something like that. Yeah, did most of the stunt writing.
cool.
Okay, on to you, William.
This story is not bad. Not counting that little bear creature that was there. That was for 2 minutes. I noticed the pattern that I think that's why Mary Tam left after this story was that again she's being in the cliffhangers. You see her falling in trouble again. That needed to be rescued by the doctor. That I think that lady in danger again that she didn't like very much. The story was not. It was good. It was a good story, and it was written by the same guy who wrote the Stones of Blood. Of course, because of the budget, you could tell that the budget was getting in the way. Was not there in all 4 parts.
I agree with you. I think she left because as you get further into this series, you notice she's taking on more like the helpless companion role, or the doctor, what is this role, rather than being the time lady she wanted to be. So now there is an urban myth running around out there, and we're going to kill it right here. She did not leave because she got pregnant. It was John Nathan Turner who started that story. So no, she did not, or was it Graham Lee? It was one of them guys started that story, and no, it wasn't true. She did not leave because of pregnancy. She left for her own personal reasons. Okay, you up next, Tim.
Yeah, well, I like this episode a lot. I'm beginning to think maybe out of the 6, it's probably my favorite in a way, or it's a good tie with Stones of Blood, or maybe I don't know. They're all good, aren't they? For the most part. But I like that the doctor is completely uninterested. He's just like fed up. He doesn't want to be told what to do, so he's just going to go fishing, and he just leaves it up to Romana to take care of it. I also like that. That rather than look for the segment of the key, the whole story, they find it right in the beginning. And so they've got it, but they just have to find out a way to get out of the predicament they're in with this Count Grindel, who's hilarious. I mean, he gets all the good lines. It's really funny when he gets smacked down by the Archimandrite because he thinks he runs everything, and he's just like, he's told, to chill. He's got the best line ever at the end. Next time I won't be so lenient. It's when he gets defeated. There's a cool sword fight and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun, this one. It's supposed to be like a remake or a pastiche of The Prisoner of Zenda, which I've never read or seen. So it's just, it is a lot of fun for Doctor Who. And it's this series, The Key to Time, is very good up to this point. I mean, you haven't really had a clunker yet, I don't think.
Yeah, Prisoner of Zenda, I think it was written by Anthony Pope. I think the last time I read it was like going on 30 years ago. I think it was back when I was going into middle school. I had a class where we had to read it. But I barely remember. Then I watched this, and I'm like, wait a minute, I've seen this before. It was like, and yeah, sure enough, looking at the notes, yeah, it is based on Prisoner of Zenda. But what's pretty neat about it is when you focus on the story of what's going on Tara. When they're going through the tunnels, the Swordmaster tells them, there was a great plague, wiped out 9/10 of the planet's population. Does this sound familiar, Stephen King? And they wind up going back into a almost medieval setting, but at the same time you got advanced technology running around. You got peasants all have the technical skills, while the royals, they consider it dirty to even know that stuff. Pretty interesting planet, Tara, so far. Okay, so let's go to while Tim's brought it up. What were your favorite characters in this story? Start with Tim.
Probably Grendel, even though he's the villain. I mean, he like I said, he gets a lot of the good lines. He's pretty funny. I guess I feel sad for Lamia. I mean, she really gets the raw end of the deal the whole time because she really loves the Count, and he treats her like garbage. And I guess as far as characters go, other than the leads, that's probably pretty much it.
Yeah, Peter Jeffrey. He played Count Grendel O'Grot. He was in both the Dr. Fives movies. He was in Adventures of Baron Munchausen, Return of the Pink Panther. So even before he walked into this, the Doctor Who role, he was a pretty well-established actor. That's one thing I noticed about the cast on this one, is there's a lot of really heavily established actors in this one. All right, let's move on. Go ahead, Will. What were your favorite characters in this story?
Well, besides the Romana and the Doctor, again, yeah, like Tim said, Grendel stood out. And what the funny part also stood out was Prince Reinhardt, but not the actual Prince. The android stood out. because the way, even though he bumped his head and noticed that he didn't talk, but when he did talk, he acted like the real person and questioned everything around him.
Yeah, I love that scene where they're going through the tunnel and he all of a sudden, boom, boom, Doctor! He keeps walking into that thing of stone jutting out of the wall. Oh, man, that must have been a fun scene to film.
Also, that stood out was the character of Lamia. Even though what happened to her in episode 3, she could have been a character that could have stayed over for all 4 parts. Especially if what we talked to earlier, if Grendel would have been an android and she was the only one that knew about it, if that would have happened.
Yep. Let's see. Reinhardt, played by Neville Jason. He was already in from Russia with Love in '63. The Message, a bunch of other stuff. Once again, another really well-established movie actor that was cast into one of these roles. And that's one thing I noticed about Android Zatara. Lots of them. All right, you go on. Nia, what was your favorite characters in this story?
Grendel is okay. I like what's her name? Lamunia, Lamati, whatever her name is.
Lamia.
The lines on her face. I liked her. I like the guards of the Prince guy, especially that one that had something, I don't know, he was too hot-headed. He wanted to kill somebody or whatever. He was just, I loved him. Weirdo. I got mad at him when he did that slice of his scarf, the doctor's scarf. I was like, ooh, you gonna get your butt whooped. And he did by K9. Yay. K9 was awesome in this, too. And that guy that was the consort of the prince. Can't remember his name.
Oh,
him. He was good.
Zadig?
Was that him?
Or Fawa?
Or Swordmaster Zadig?
I think that was him. I don't know, but he was cool. I said, I have every faith in you, Doctor. That man, I don't know.
Well, yeah, it's cool how at that point the Doctor gets ingratiated into their group and pretty much helps them out. I mean, but he's like the man behind the scenes. Really, he's helping them with the robots and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Simon Leck. He played Zadok. He'd also played Professor Kettering in The Mind of Evil. He was also he's got a filmography going back to 1939. So, once again, another firmly established movie actor who went into this TV serial, and that's what I love about the casting. That they had for these episodes. Always really good actors. Which is weird, that you've got these guys coming over from film and doing a TV serial and a science fiction show. It's like
how much of that is because like all the actors tell the stories that their kids wanted them to do it, that their kids wanted to see them on Doctor Who.
Well, yeah, that's true. That happens a lot. If I remember right, I think it was Peter Jeffrey. Matter of fact, yeah, it was. It was Peter Jeffrey, who was reputed who have been offered the role of the second Doctor. So Grendel could have been in Troughton's shoes, but he turned down the role. Now that would have been weird. But
that's interesting. Earlier we were talking today about the gunfighters, and Troughton had been offered the role for Johnny Ringo in that, and had he taken it, he never would have been the second Doctor probably, because that just happened a few months later. So it's weird how these things work out.
Oh, yeah, very true. Also, poor little K9 in this serial, man. They left him in the boat. I thought that was such a hilarious way to end that.
Yeah.
If I remember right, it was either I can't remember if it was the director's son or nephew or something like that, was on set that day. And in fact, he was the guy. He was in the scene where Ramada's walking through the woods, and it's supposed to be the wood beast shaking the bushes. It's actually this little teenager named Patrick who's doing the shaking. And also in the ending scene where K9's in the boat, he's under a blanket in the back. That way, when they got done shooting the scene, he popped up and rode the boat back to shore. So he got his own little niche in the Doctor Who history. But yeah, Androids of Tara. It's not a huge bad episode. You know, I enjoy watching it. I always get a kick out of it when it's on. You know, well, back when it used to, re-air every now and then. Plus, the other weird thing about this one was when they re-aired it later. I think it was in the summer of '79. It actually got higher ratings than it did when it aired the first time around. So it doesn't happen that often, but it did.
Oh,
here's a question I got. Maybe you know the answer.
Go ahead.
The scene when the coronation took place in that room, was that the same room that was used for the Vibos operation?
I don't know.
You had the two doors. You had the way it was looked at almost looked like the same room. All they did was change the decorations.
It could have been, because I think that was just done on a set. All the exterior stuff was done out at Leeds Castle near Kent, but all the interior stuff was mainly studio. So it could have been. It could have been just a revamped set. I didn't see. Huh?
I said chances are, yeah, it was probably the same set. I mean, they probably filmed a lot of the interiors in the same studios all the time. So
yeah, they were broke, so maybe so. I don't know.
Plus, how many people dug the sword fight?
I thought it was cool.
I liked it.
I like the beginning part when he got poked in the rear. That was cute.
Yeah, where they spring to the on guard position and the Doctor springs facing the opposite way.
Yeah.
He never mentioned where he learned the sword fight, did he?
I thought that was a stunt double.
No, I meant the Doctor himself.
I don't think he did. I know they were kind of throwing a little hint back at the fact the Doctor has experience with swordplay, especially all the sword fights we saw with John Pertwee, with the Master.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that was kind of a nod back to that, is what they were doing. Plus, we know later on that Peter Davison's Doctor has a little sword fight in the King's Demons with the Master.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, like I said, it's an enjoyable episode. It's not a bad way to kill a Saturday afternoon, especially if it's raining or you're bored. Plus, Key to Time series has always been entertaining to me. I don't think there's an episode that's hugely bad in it yet. So, okay, let's go ahead and just rate this sucker and put it away. Let's start with Tim. Out of 10, how do you rate this one?
I'd give it a 9. I think it's really good. Out of the first 4, it holds up really well. I think they all do at this point. I think it's the next 2 that are a little not quite as good, but yeah, I'd give it a 9 out of 10. So, like you said, it's a good way to kill a Saturday afternoon. Just enjoy it. It's fun. It's a fun run around.
Okay, William.
Well, I give it because of the great multi-performance by Romana Mary Tam and the great sword play by Tom Baker. I give it an 8.5.
All right, Neo?
I'm going to give it a 9 as well, because I like the one that comes after this one a lot.
I'm going to give it a pretty solid 8.5. But, all right, and now for one unsung hero, honorable mention before I bring this sucker to a close.
K9.
Not only K9, no, but everybody remember the big, round, fat servant guy with the defective eye who was Grendel's little henchman who he sent to get the doctor.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, it turns out he was played by a fellow named Thomas Declan Mulholland. Well, this man had a pretty extensive history in film. Pretty interesting stuff. Matter of fact, I'm going to mention this now. He was in Hawk the Slayer. But okay. Just so I don't hear it, later on. But a lot of people don't know that he was also this guy. He was the original Jabba the Hutt.
Ooh.
From the deleted scene out of Star Wars. So he must have walked into Android Zatara going, damn, I got screwed. I could have been in Star Wars. They cut my scene out. No. So yeah, he was the original. Matter of fact, yeah, this scene was later brought back in the special edition, and then they edited over poor Duncan with a CGI version, and then the hilarity ensued, especially when Han Solo had to walk around the back of him. So yeah, he was the original Jabba the Hutt. So honorable mention to Duncan there. The guy who probably could have had he had a pretty extensive career after Doctor Who, so he can't complain, But still, that's kind of like a missed moment there. Alrighty.
The only thing that we should mention that Grendel does appear again, and even though he's in a Doctor Who.
Thank you for reminding me. Yeah, I looked that up. If you look in the, I'm glad you reminded me of that, because I just looked this up just for the cast, and I remembered a mention of a book called The Trials of Tara, which coincidentally was written by Paul Cornell, same guy who wrote Human Nature, Family of Blood, and see, that podcast is tomorrow, right, for the Whovians, right? Family of Nature. So Paul Cornell writes us, and good job not being here, post office boy, because you would have got a kick out of this. Not only does Grendel return, because the 7th Doctor and Bernice Summerfield go to Tara, and it's in a later era. Yeah, Grendel is still around, and get ready for this. This is an actual line out of the synopsis. This is no joke. Meanwhile, the Candyman of Terra Alpha crashes on Tara, and Grendel's technicians repair him and recruit him for Grendel's cause.
Candyman.
The freaking Candyman even came back. So, yeah, who knows? Maybe they'll make a Big Finish audio out of it.
That'll make somebody we know happy.
Yeah. Okay, so Android Zatara, good episode. Like I said, sorry for the short one, but everybody else was kind of tied up this week. Please join us next week for Kroll, the Power of Kroll. No, not Kroll as in the Glaive movie with what's his name and all that. Yep. No, the Power of Kroll. Okay, goodbyes from everybody. Let's start with Neo.
Bye.
William.
Thank you for having me here. Can't wait to be here next week.
And Tim.
Thanks for having me, and keep on hooing.
All right, take care, folks. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.